Your Majesty. You haven't left either, Your Majesty. The court bears the faith of countless imperial citizens. How could I leave early when it comes to matters like praying for the people's welfare? There are always those who assume the court has ulterior motives. Wouldn't you agree, Your Majesty? If Your Majesty is referring to the play, please be at ease. That is unnecessary. My homeland doesn't trap fish in aquariums. In any case, I can't say it's pleasing to the eye. I'm just surprised the Empress, oft drowning in imperial matters, has time for leisurely pursuits. Yes, it's all because of Your Majesty's graceful generosity. Because of Your Majesty's astounding efforts, the mysterious bard's texts have a chance to return to the stage. Your Majesty's selection of Knight of the Revelrous Rite is somewhat shocking. A god disguises himself as a mortal and returns to his hometown. It's so he can punish the monarch and their family for refusing to acknowledge his divinity. He bewitches those who once persecuted his family and ultimately makes them destroy their country with their own hands. I didn't expect Your Majesty to like this story. The result of defying or complying with fate is inherently uncertain. They're not allowed to go beyond this glass prison. What a pitiful sight. Fish remember who feed them, but they've forgotten who imprisoned them here in the first place. In the play, the god was once imprisoned in a dungeon by a monarch. All of it was under the pretense of protection. But in the end, he freed himself from those protective restraints and reclaimed his freedom. Between the god and the monarch, who do you think would become the fish that leaps out of the water, Your Majesty?
The god has disguised himself as a mortal prophet. He returns to his homeland. He bewitches the people in the palace, but our ruler hasn't been deceived by his wiles.
I come from a land where flowers bloom across the mountains. The god has ordained me to bring his sacred rites to the palace.
Oh, his power is the vitality of the grapevines, the nectar that makes all forget sorrows, the rapture that intoxicates. To reject him is to reject a part of life itself.
Disrespecting the gods is also worthy of punishment. He is at my side. It's unfortunate that those who disrespect the gods cannot see him. I only bring joy to the people and let them forget their worldly troubles. How is this a crime? You already know how to answer that, Your Majesty. Why is it necessary to ask? My participation is for peace in the Empire. I imagine Your Majesty will also have instances where my aid is required. Mature seeds understand that they need the wind's help if they wish to fly far. Let it soar. No matter where it goes, it has to fly first, right? I'm also an imperial citizen, so I should receive a blessing.
The audacity! Your Majesty, I shall retrieve the flower. It offended Your Majesty.
I shall thank Your Majesty on its behalf. It lives nearby, and normally visits the Sanctide Chapel's garden to look for food. Every flower and tree is a miracle of nature, and being in nature's presence allows people to cast aside distracting thoughts. It's not open to the public yet. However, I can give you a tour if you're interested, Your Majesty. They're holograms. They aren't real. Be careful. It's poisonous. Sometimes what's truly deadly is those who are too bold for their own good. Poison is the least of one's worries. Will your Majesty be that person? Your Majesty is courageous. This is actually a grapevine. On the contrary, it was the former emperor's plaything and was constantly tortured for entertainment. Then it escaped. It wandered into the Sanctide Chapel's property, discovered that food would occasionally be present, and stubbornly refused to leave. Despite its greed for food, it's cautious. Therefore, its appearance here proves that it doesn't dislike being in your presence. Here's your compensation. You're different from the previous emperors. That's something to look forward to. If your Majesty is willing, you're welcome to taste the wine once it's ready. It's late. You should head back, Your Majesty. You have something to say to me? This is perfect. I accept Your Majesty's blessing. Now then, may Your Majesty guide the stars and the Empire on a new path. That depends on what choice Your Majesty will make. Your Majesty has drawn the Flamma Arcana and the Sword Arcana.
The Sacred card says the Empress's existence will bring fire and war to the Empire. The candle fell over?
We're doomed! Doomed, I say! This is an ominous sign!
There's no need to panic. The candlestick wasn't secured properly. It seems Your Majesty already has an alternate reading. Your Majesty shall witness this world's chaos with a clear, bright gaze. The courage burning within the Empress shall transform into endless waves. Her Majesty shall lead the Empire forward without retreating even once.
To commemorate Your Majesty's assistance in driving away the interstellar monsters from our planet, we have painted a portrait of the Empress.
Our planet's technology is limited, so we can only compose a poem for the Empress.
I believe the most exciting part hasn't started yet. Has Your Majesty forgotten? We need to hone our dancing skills today. Your Majesty's taste in decor is excellent. I'm surprised it has so much power. You can ask the people on my home planet. Someone will tell you. I wouldn't say I know the place. Actually, I painted it. Isn't it magical? These books should also be your companions. A paper crown? Your Majesty had grand ambitions even as a child. I believe this is more suitable to what an empress should have. However, a real crown isn't this light. If you are a mortal, then do not resist the gods. I never thought it was simply an act. As you wish, my liege. I am now in your hands. However, everything between us won't end on a simple note. Changing the script on a moment's notice is very much in line with your Majesty's style. Your Majesty never spoke to me like this before. A secret relationship? It's not entirely outlandish. Why should I be upset? It's not unique. People can only speak freely when there's no plague or disaster. They can say whatever they want, without any constraints. You were correct, Your Majesty. Tonight's revision was well done. The game between the god and the monarch won't end at that moment. I'm here to deliver wine. Does that count as urgent? I promise to let Your Majesty taste it. Your Majesty prepared for this? If I hadn't brought the wine, I never would have known. I shall bestow upon you the crown that symbolizes glory. Starting from this moment, you will be revered by all. Your will shall become the will of the planet. Your Majesty, do you swear to protect the lands it reflects until you breathe your last? You shall bear solitude and glory all the while. In the Stella Ocean's name, I shall bless you, my Empress. I look forward to it. I wouldn't say that. In any case, I just happened to be passing by. Do you want to dance with me? It's not the same. That was between the Sanctarch and the Empress. Now, it's Raphael and you.